I pulled the hood of my sweatshirt up as I stepped outside of my building into the cool November air. After returning home from an away game this afternoon and dealing with team business the rest of the day, I hadn't had a chance to put in a grocery delivery order, so when I got back to my penthouse, I was starving and had nothing to eat. In the mood for home cooking, I decided to run to the store and grab the ingredients for a healthy chicken stir-fry. Keeping my head down, I jogged the block to Butler's Grocery, mindful that the paparazzi sometimes hung around right after a big win. Not that they took an interest in me very often. Despite being a punter for the wildly popular New York Nighthawks, I wasn't what people would call personable. Is it my fault most people annoy me? As I strolled through the automated double doors, I uncovered my head and lifted my chin at George, the manager, who returned my greeting with a wave. "Nice win," he called in a thick British accent. Then he smirked and winked. "I guess you walked into the right locker room this time," he quipped, referring to a t-shirt he bought me for last Christmas that said, "Kickers, soccer players that walked into the wrong locker room." Grinning, I rolled my eyes and snarked, "I'd crush it in either locker room." I'd first visited the store the day I moved into my apartment, which I bought early in my first year with the Nighthawks. They'd given me a 4-season contract. Then a year ago, they signed me for another 6 when the first was about to expire. So I'd been coming to this store for over half a decade. George, his wife, and his kids had become like family to me. His daughter had even lived with my parents in Wisconsin for her first year of college. He laughed and tipped an imaginary hat. "Touché." I grabbed a cart and ambled over to the dairy aisle to grab a gallon of milk before making my way to the produce. I'd put in a full order of groceries later, but for now, I just needed the stuff for dinner and some staples. When my basket was full, I turned with the intent to head to the register. But I was stopped in my tracks by the sexiest ass I'd ever seen. The woman was bent over, studying the products on the bottom shelf. I admired the view, and to my surprise, the sight of that heart-shaped ass made my pants fit tighter. It was a foreign reaction, because I hadn't been interested in a woman in a long time, and that had suited me just fine, since my focus was on my career. She brushed a waterfall of bright pink hair back over her shoulder when she stood.